Okay, Bob, thanks for talking to us. It's the start of the clay court season, beautiful setting, but can anyone stop Rafa this week?
Well, this week he was definitely on form the other day, and he started off so well, so there's a long way to go. This week he seems to be the one who's, I think, in the best form, but with a few more matches to go as well, and then for the rest of the clay court season there's a lot more time.
You obviously understand the technicalities of tennis. Why is Rafa such a great player on clay?
Well, I mean, first of all, he's just not giving any free points. That's really, if you look at the amount of unforced errors he makes, I think in that match the other day he made 4 mistakes, which is really impressive, and he's able to sustain that level of performance over a whole tournament, week after week actually, and that I think is one of the most important parts. But his ball has so much weight on it, with the spin, and he's not letting the person get inside the court, which they tend to do on the hard courts, to be able to take time away from him. It's much more difficult here.
A 6th title, that would be amazing, wouldn't it, for him?
Well, there's no doubt over the last years he's been by far the best clay court player, and except for that hiccup last year, I think that he was just almost unbeatable there. Very few losses.
Obviously you've coached some great tennis players in your time, Goran Ivanisevic, Boris Becker. What do you make of the men's game at the moment?
Well, you just have to look at this field in Monte-Carlo. That is, you've got, not having, of course, Federer and some of these other players, but if you look at the game today, you've got, Federer, Nadal, Murray, Djokovic, Del Potro, Davydenko, Roddick, Soderling, Tsonga, Verdasco, Cilic. I think, the depth of the game is really it's quite deep, and but also the attraction of these players. If you go out and try to get a ticket to watch Tsonga and Verdasco today, it's all sold out. And this is what really makes the game so interesting. Top players, all so different, all having consistent performances, and that's what builds their fan base.
Sure, obviously you're coaching Marin Cilic at the moment. Disappointing day on Thursday, but how far do you think he can go?
Well, certainly the first clay court tournament of the season isn't that easy, and the clay court players are definitely ready to take a few scalps. Marin played today in sort of 2 parts of it, but still his match against Andreev I thought was quite good, and we just got to get through to the other events. You've got Rome and Madrid and Munich, and then of course Roland Garros.
Long term though, people are saying he could make the top 8 this season. Is that something that you're targeting?
Well, I wouldn't say targeting, but definitely it's a possibility. If you look at the way Marin started the year, winning Chennai and Zagreb, and also semi-finals of the Australian Open, it shows that he's definitely one of the players who is in contention to do that. The key is to be able to have that consistency of performance throughout the rest of the year.
As I've mentioned, you've coached Goran Ivanisevic, you're coaching Marin Cilic now. Also Mario Andrić. You haven't coached Ivan Ljubičić, but he won Indian Wells. What is it about Croatia that produces so many great players?
Well, first of all, they're all very, very good athletes. I think that's what is the first part. Tennis is a very popular sport in Croatia, and going back even further, they've had a lot of good players. Niki Pilic, Franulovic, these sort of people who were also at the top of the game. They're very competitive. There's no doubt about that, the Croatians, and they love their sport. And they're really ready to come out every day and to work and to try to get better.
Obviously you're coaching Marin, you have your own tennis academy. You're a busy boy, aren't you?
Well, it's just, I love tennis. There's no question. I really enjoy coaching, and my academy provides me a little bit of something away from being on tour, and it's a hobby.
And finally, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's going to be the #1 at the end of the year?
Well, it's Rogers to lose, I think, the title. He's shown that he's just better than the others. The others are going to have to prove that they can take that title from him. And I think that Rafa being back in form is, you know, I'm not sure that he can be number one, but he can definitely have a shot to win, you know, to win the Roland Garros.